Welcome to 21st Sports Recap and Reaction for the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers in their Week 12 matchup played November 29th, 2015. We're going to go over the scores and the stats and give our breakdown and analysis. So it was scoreless in the first quarter until, with 4 minutes left to play in the first, Chandler Catanzaro hit a 26-yard field goal, and that made it 3-0 Arizona over San Francisco. The Honey Badger would come up with an interception of Blaine Gabbert that would lead to a 41-yard field goal in the second quarter, less than 3 minutes in, with still just under 13 minutes left to play before halftime, as Catanzaro knocked in the 41-yard field goal, and it was 6-0 Cardinals over the 49ers. But then on the final play of the first half, Phil Dawson hit a 53-yard field goal, and it was now 6-3 as the Diamondbacks were still in the lead over the Giants. A little baseball humor there, but it was a low-scoring game in San Francisco for sure, with the Cardinals over the Niners 6-3 at halftime. So then in the third quarter, we finally saw a touchdown as David Johnson, the rookie, punched it in from a yard out as Charles Johnson had left the game due to an injury. But Catanzaro kicked the extra point, and it was now a 10-point lead for Arizona, up 13-3. The Niners would answer as they came back with an 8-yard touchdown pass by Blaine Gabbert to Vance McDonald, the tight end, and with the extra point by Phil Dawson, was once again a 3-point game with Arizona still in the lead, but with the score 13-10 at the midway point in the third quarter. Then Phil Dawson would kick a 33-yard field goal with about a minute and a half left in the third to tie this game up at 13 apiece. So it was tied up at 13, headed into the fourth, and down the stretch until Carson Palmer ran it in himself for a 7-yard touchdown run. Is somehow the veteran was able to make it into the end zone, just narrowly getting in there over on the left side. But the extra point was no good, and so it was 19-13 with just 2.5 minutes left to play in this game. So San Francisco, down by 6, had a chance to win this one with a touchdown and an extra point. And so they would start off on their own 21 after the kickoff, and then they were faced with a 2nd and 3 from the 28, and they got a first down with a pass from Gabbert to Tron that picked up 10 yards, and then they kept moving the ball. They actually had a fumble, but it went out of bounds, and so they kept the ball, and it went to the 2-minute warning. Now Gabbert would then get a pass to Bolden to pick up 12 yards and a first down, as it was now at the Arizona 30. So they're now within field goal range, but 3 points would do them no good. They needed to get into the end zone. So a couple of incomplete passes would bring up 3rd and 10 from the 30, and Gabbert was sacked by Jefferson. He was dropped for a 10-yard loss, and so now it was 4th and 20 at the Arizona 40. And so the Niners forced to go for it on 4th and 20, and Blaine Gabbert dropped back, and he found Anquan Bolden, and Bolden picks up 18 yards, but the Honey Badger and Johnson were there for the tackle as Matthew comes up big time on defense, Matthew and Johnson, and they tackle Bolden just shy of the first down, 2 yards shy, and so the Niners turn the ball over on downs. So they turn the ball over on downs, and the Cardinals would force the San Francisco 49ers to call a timeout, but then, being that they picked up a first down, all that was left to do was for Carson Palmer to take 2 knees in the victory formation as the Cardinals win this one 19-13, and Arizona is now 9-2 on the season, 5-1 on the road, as they are now guaranteed to be above 500 on the year. It will be a winning season for the Cardinals for the 3rd straight year, and the San Francisco 49ers are now 3-8 on the season. They're 3-3 at home, as all their wins have come in Santa Clara. Not today, but they've not won a road game, although, like I said, this one was in Levi Stadium. And the Cardinals sweep the season series against San Francisco here in 2015. Carson Palmer, he didn't throw a touchdown, but he did have that touchdown on the ground, which doesn't happen too often. But Carson Palmer, 24 for 40, 271 passing yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. The leading rusher for Arizona was Andre Ellington with just 5 carries for 24 yards. The rookie David Johnson had 8 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. Chris Johnson had 12 carries for 17 yards before leaving the game due to injury. John Brown was the leading receiver for Arizona with 5 catches for 99 yards. Larry Fitzgerald had 10 catches for 66 yards. And the rookie J.J. Nelson had 2 catches for 53 yards. Andre Ellington also had 3 catches for 22 yards to go with his 24 rushing yards, giving him 46 total yards on the game. And for San Francisco, Blaine Gabbert, 25 for 36, 318 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Drawn had 15 carries for 51 yards, and Bolden had 8 catches for 93 yards. Vance McDonald, 6 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown. And for the kickers in this game, Chandler Catanzaro, 2 for 2 on the field goals, 1 for 2 on the extra points. And Phil Dawson was perfect, 2 for 2 on the field goals, 1 for 1 on the extra points. And on defense for Arizona, Tyrann Mathieu had 1 interception, the Honey Badger. Minter had a half sack. Jefferson had a sack and a forced fumble. And Golden had a half sack as well. And for San Francisco, Purcell had a sack. Then we look at the team stats. 26 first downs for the Cardinals, 17 first downs for the 49ers. And on third down, a huge discrepancy as Arizona 7 of 14 for a 50% conversion rate. They did go for it once on fourth down, did not convert. But the 49ers 0 for 9 on third down, 0%, as they were not getting the job done on third down. They did go for it twice on fourth down, converting once for 50% on fourth downs. Total net yards, 368 for San Fran, 337 for Arizona. And on the ground, the Cardinals netted 70 yards, the Niners netted 67. And through the air, San Francisco 301. Gabbert sacked twice, losing 17 yards. And for Arizona, they netted 267 through the air. Palmer sacked once, losing 4 yards. And for the penalties, it really hurt the Niners. Not just the not doing anything on third down, but the penalties. 13 penalties, 81 penalty yards for San Francisco, and just 7 penalties for 47 yards against Arizona. The Niners fumbled twice. They lost 1. They recovered 1. And then we look at the red zone, and the Cardinals 2 for 4, 50% in the red zone. The Niners were also 50%, but they only made 2 trips. They were 1 for 2. And the time of possession was a big difference in this game. 37 minutes and 27 seconds for the Cardinals. 22 minutes, 33 seconds for San Fran. But the Niners playing them tight, keeping it close, and they did it with defense. Of course, Gabbert, he was putting up some numbers, but they could not convert on third down. And that was really their Achilles heel. Plus, those penalties really hurt San Francisco. And when it came to clutch time, Carson Palmer came through. He found a way to get the W, even if he had to do it by running the ball into the end zone himself, as the Cardinals were struggling to get anything going on the ground. So the Niners have a pretty good run defense, but they were not able to get the win in this game. I actually thought it would be somewhat of a low-scoring game, as when these two teams meet up in San Francisco, they tend to play pretty tight to the vest. But in the end, Arizona coming away with a big victory against their NFC West division rival. Of course, the Niners are in the basement there in the West, but Arizona with the win, and with Seattle winning at the same time, as they both were playing at the same time. They were both playing late games, but the Cardinals keep a 3-game lead over the Seahawks in the West with just 5 games left to play. So they're definitely in the driver's seat as they're heading towards the playoffs. and looking to be the champions of the West. It's their division to win. So the Cardinals coming away with a big victory on the road. Of course, they forced the 2 turnovers in this game, and they protected the ball. They did a good job keeping the ball in the hands of their offense, although they didn't have a lot of production necessarily on the scoreboard. But Catanzaro was chipping away with a couple field goals in the first half, and then, of course, in the second half, the 2 touchdowns, one in the third, and then Palmer with that touchdown in the fourth, as they win this game by just 6 points. So big victory on the road, but let me know what you think in the comments section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and had a great week and had a great weekend and also had a happy holiday and enjoyed all the sports.